Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this session of Structural Engineering, Design and Detailing. From the previous sessions, we were seeing the design of the intermediate stiffener. As the problem is very long, I had to continue it in the parts. In the first part, you must have seen how what are the loads coming onto the intermediate stiffener, what are the loads coming onto the plate girder. Depending on that, we'll have to provide an intermediate stiffener. As I had told you, intermediate stiffener is basically provided to resist the load which is coming onto the web, and that is provided when the depth of the web is greater than 2 meters. If the depth of the web is very high, in those situations it is very high, we'll have to go for intermediate stiffener. So there are chances of buckling. So to overcome that buckling stresses, we provide intermediate stiffeners. So in the first session, you must have seen the step 1. Step 1 was basically how to provide the spacing of the stiffener, that is C. Spacing of the stiffener is denoted by C, and it should be greater than the depth of the web and less than 3 times of depth of the web. So we had taken it as the depth of the web was 1200, we had taken it as 1500, as it is less than 3 times of the depth of the web. So after that, then we had calculated in the step 2 the outstand of the stiffener. What is outstand of the stiffener? It shouldn't be greater than 20 TQ epsilon. TQ is the thickness of the stiffener. We had adopted it as 8 mm, and for all practical calculations, we'll be taking that outstand of the stiffener as 14 TQ epsilon. After calculation, we got that value. Next, in the third step, what we had done is we had calculated the moment of inertia to be provided. That is capital BDQ by 12 minus small BDQ by 12. After calculations, we got some value. Then, but the clause says that moment of inertia calculated. What is the moment of inertia calculated? It depends on C by D ratio. Depending on the C by D ratio, if it is greater than root 2, we have one formula of the moment of inertia, and if it is less than C by D is less than root 2, we have some formula. But after calculations, we got it as less than root 2. So we had taken the moment of inertia formula given in the code book. After that calculations, we had got the moment of inertia what we had provided was greater than the calculated. So we proceeded further with that. Next, what we had to check is we had to check what is the buckling resistance. It has been given in the clause. A sequence has been given in the clause where we have to find out different formulas leading to see whether this design of intermediate stiffener is safe and whether it can resist buckling or not. So finally, after calculations, we had got that as safe. Now, what is the only one thing was left in this session, in this problem, was we had to design the connection of the intermediate stiffener. So this is the most probably this is the last step. We'll be just seeing design of connection between web and stiffener. I'll just see that step here, design. Design of connection between web and stiffener. It has been given in the page 67. I request you to please keep the code book with you all. Please keep it handy because everything is in code book. It says connection of intermediate stiffeners to web. Intermediate transverse stiffeners not subjected to external loading should be connected to the web so as to withstand a shear between each component of the stiffener and the web in kilonewton per mm of not less than TW square by, so S is equal to TW square by 5BS. This is what the code says. TW is given as web thickness and BS outstand width of stiffener. It is mentioned here BS is outstand width of stiffener and TW is web thickness. We'll just substitute these values here. TW is 12 square by 5 into 112. So this value I am getting it as 0.257 kilonewton per mm. You can just see here it is in kilonewton per mm. Next I'll have to follow. Let this be as 257 Newton per mm. And I'll take it as 1. I'll take it as 1. Next, what I'll have to see is I'll have to see the strength of the weld. That is permissible stress into area of the weld. Strength of the weld permissible stress into area of the weld. Permissible stress is Fu by root 3 into gamma mw. Fu. Fu by root 3 into gamma mw. Fu is the ultimate stress, which is taken as 410. This is 1 into throat thickness. So Fu is 410, that is the ultimate stress, that is 410, and root 3 gamma mw is 1.5 here. You can just make a correction here. It is not 1, it is 1.5 into 1 into throat thickness, that is 1 into T. Throat thickness, basically we are finding it out here, and this is strength of the weld is 257 here. So after calculations you will get this value as 157.8 T. 157.8 T. 257 is equal to 157.8 T. Just T throat thickness, now you can get it. The throat thickness value I am getting it as 1.62. T is equal to 1.62 mm. So it is very simple. It is not any complicated. 257 I got it from here, from the design of connection. S is equal to TW square by FBS. T is the thickness of the weld is 12 square. BS is 112. I've got it as 257 Newton per mm. After that, strength of the weld is permissible stress into area of weld. Permissible stress is Fu by root 3 into gamma mw. This is weld at the fabricated weld or site at the weld. It is given in the clause in table 30. You can check that from there. So I've just substituted those values. T, I've got it as T equal to 1.62 mm. Throat thickness is T is equal to 1.62 mm. I'll just need to find out the size of the weld. T is equal to 0.6. Size of the T is equal to 0.7 S. T is 1.62 is equal to 0.7 S. S is size of the weld, that is 1.62 by 0.7. if I get, I've got it as 2.31 mm. So this is the size of the weld. Provide size of the weld is 3 mm. In page 78, table 21, you can see page 78. I'll just check this here. You can see here, page 78, table 21, you can see thickness of thicker part. Minimum size is 3. Minimum size is 3. We cannot provide anything less than 2.31 is less than 3. So minimum size is 3. That is size of the weld. I will be providing it as 3 mm. So basically this is the connection of the intermediate stiffener between web and the stiffener. So this is very easy. You can go through the values. Then I can so this is the size of the weld which I have got. So this problem is very easy. You must have understood. If you see the part 1 and the part 2 and this is the part 3, I had to make it in parts so that you all could understand it easily. I could have done it in one class, but what I felt was, what I have seen from the previous sessions, as it is become a very lengthy video, students are not able to focus it for such a long time. So I've just made it into parts. I request you all to please go through this session. It is very easy. If you see it once or twice, you practice this 2 or 3 times. This is very important problem. You can get it is not that tough as it looks. It is very easy. You can score good marks in the step 1 and step 2. I can just tell you in 2 minutes how the step 1 and step 2 is till the end. Step 1 is the spacing of the stiffener. Step 2 is the outstand of the stiffener, and step 3 is the moment of inertia to be provided, and step 4 is the moment of inertia what we are calculating from the code book, and step 5 is the buckling resistance. Everything is given in the code book. You just need to go step by step. step. After calculating that values of buckling resistance, if it is safe, then we have to go for the connections. If you do all this, it is final, the intermediate stiffener has been provided. I request you all to please go through this sessions part by part as it is given in parts. Hope you can complete this problem very easily. Hope this session was informative. It is very small. I wanted you all to go through this session in parts so that you can understand it very easily. If you find any doubts in any parts, I request you all to please comment in the comment section, so I will clarify your doubts at the earliest. Thanks a lot.